Hello, this is Mr. Gigabytes doing his best impression of a podcaster, along with
Serenity. Hello.
So, a few things have happened. So, it'll be right now, we're recording this one on Friday the 13th.
Spooky.
It's the day before Pride. We actually donated a trailer to the Pride Parade.
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't know.
Yeah. I also told my friend about it.
Yeah. So we donated a trailer, and they built a little railing on the flatbed trailer, so that people who can't walk their route can actually go and participate in the parade, and they're just gonna pull them around and okie dokie.
Yeah. Are we going to the Pride Parade?
I don't know. I wasn't planning on it, but
Can we go to the Pride Parade?
maybe.
Yes.
Yes. Well, because like Star Trek night is going to be moved to Sunday, which is Father's Day.
I forgot about that.
Oh, I'm wounded. I'm not really, but what I am wounded about is Strange New Worlds getting canceled. What do you think?
I don't like that.
Well, I mean, we're going to get, season 3 is coming up almost on your birthday.
Yeah.
Going to start 2-episode premiere, and then we get a fourth full season, and then season 5 is going to only be 6 episodes, which doesn't make any sense to me. Why not just round it out with a full 10? But this whole Skydance Paramount merger thing is really screwing things up. And after midnight, which is another one of my favorite shows, I don't know if that's getting renewed or not. Ghost is getting renewed for season 4. It's another show I really like. Also a CBS Paramount show. It's so they're getting another season, so that's great. But there's other Star Trek coming down the pipe, so maybe after season 5 ends for Strange New Worlds, we'll finally get like Star Trek Legacy, which you have no idea about, but it's something the fans have been asking for, and I don't know, we'll see. But we did Star Trek last week, which hasn't been released yet as of this taping. So we did a whole Star Trek thing last week.
Yeah.
That's just what's new in Star Trek this week.
Yeah.
That should be a segment.
Okay.
That and what pizza did we eat this week?
Bruh.
What? We can eat at different pizza places and rate them.
Dang. It's expensive, bruh.
Well, we buy pizza every week.
Still.
Sometimes we do frozen pizza. Sometimes we do Little Caesars. Sometimes we do Papa John's. Sometimes we do Godfather's.
When are we going to eat the pizza in the fridge? No, freezer.
Probably when we run out of money. Or when nobody's got an idea of what to eat for supper in the middle of the week. So we just about did that. But this might be our last episode for a little while.
Oh my god.
The Star Trek one is coming out. Well, will have come out by the time you hear this. The Thursday after after the 14th, so Thursday after Father's Day. and then the next one will be the end of June. But I've got July is always super busy. I've got a pending proposal that's might take me a month to get done, and we're just an hour a week to 5 people
Dang.
to broadcast to 5 people, 5, 6 people, just isn't convincing enough to do this on a regular basis. If we're consistently getting, double digits, okay, fine. Maybe some of the topics we have been covering aren't really that interesting to people. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, because it's like I'm not that interested in sports things, but yet I'll, if I can learn something, I'll listen to something sports. Usually the history of sports or something like that. That's kind of interesting. But you just gotta, I don't know. And I'm not saying that you have to watch this podcast, although I am kind of saying you have to watch this podcast. But you should watch this podcast, because we talk about things, and maybe it's not terribly immediately relevant. Like by the time the whole news of the Star Trek Strange New Worlds being canceled is going to be like 2 weeks old. So by the time this airs, but it's not just the hour that we're actually doing the talkie talk. It's the it's the editing, and it's the and an audio podcast is not hard to edit per se, but it all takes time. And if I don't have the time, I can't do it to the best of my abilities. So this might be the last one for a while, depending on how well these last 2 episodes do. So
yeah.
So it's all up to our listeners. Like, share, subscribe, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But there's videos that I need to get to as well. So I would spend the time, filming some videos like I used to. But who knows? We are getting a new store. It'll be a Zazzle store. Link will be in the description. There may not be a lot of merchandise in the store, but it's going to be less expensive than the previous store. And let me tell you, I'm going to have to call Printify.me out on this nonsense. It's like they sent me an email saying, okay, we need to verify you as a user. Okay, verify me. That's fine. An email and phone number, and send me a little code and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But then they said, now you need a Stripe account. And I'm like, no, I don't need a Stripe account for you to pay me my royalties. I don't. There's no reason for me to have a Stripe account at all. The Stripe, for those who don't know, Stripe is a payment system, and it's kind of like Square, which I have, and it's kind of like a little bit like PayPal, which I have, and I also have the bank account and Cash App and all kinds of other things. Can we just not require me to have a specific payment system? Nope. That's how we verify you. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
So that store's been completely deleted. We nuked it in the microwave and it exploded. So we will recreate we're going to Zazzle, a company I've worked with in the past, and I worked with them for many years. They have a wider variety of things to sell in their catalog, which I like. And they are they're they're a little more reasonable with their pricing. I think. I mean, it was nice because Printify was simple, was easy, was, I don't know. It was more straightforward, and I liked the way their store looked, and I liked the way, there's a lot of things I liked about it. But this behind the scenes bull crap that you got to do. I mean, granted, they've added, okay, now you can sell on Amazon, now you can sell on Etsy, and you can do all that with your Printify Me store. Well, great, but I shouldn't have to do a special another payment service. I'm a business that has like 4 or 5 of them. I don't need another one. So that was a deal breaker. So we can't get your sweatshirt. We have to redesign it.
Well, there was no sweatshirt originally, but we're gonna make one.
Well, I know, but so we have to remake it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna do that, and then I had to do all this verify stuff, and that's why our store was shut down, because I didn't verify in time. Well, they never sent me the email saying they needed to verify my account until after the time had passed. Okay, fine, I'll verify. That's fine. That's simple enough. And here's the thing: I've been going to like when because I'm trying to write this horror novel, and I wrote the prologue finally, but it's not, it's unrefined. It's a rough draft, but the issue is, like, I keep going down to the coffee shop to write, and all I do is I bang my head against the wall for 2.5 hours trying to fix website problems or merch store problems or some other stupid thing that I didn't cause. I'm paying these people, sort of. Well, I wasn't paying Printify, but they get a cut of that. But I pay these people to make sure that everything runs smoothly, and it's not running smoothly, and I have to solve the problems. And so it's like, what am I paying you guys for? I've got 3 websites on a plan that's supposed to be able to host 10, and my files are full. I finally figured out where the files were going, and we had a bunch of tiny little files in this cache folder, and I just deleted everything in the cache folder, crossed my fingers, and hoped my websites wouldn't crash, and they didn't. Suddenly I can update all my websites and do more stuff, and it's like, great, okay, that's fixed. So now I'm only using 37,000 files out of 250,000. So that's fixed. It's just, this is the things you got to do when you're doing this type of thing. You want merch, you got to, this bizarre dance with these merch shops. I mean, a lot of them will come out and tell you what their requirements are, which is great. Well, and Printify did too, which is why I went with them, because everything looked good, everything looked proper. Well, then they changed everything. It's like, you're going to change it? Then no. You're going to change it to some nonsense that I shouldn't have to agree to. You ever had that happen?
No. I don't do that.
Don't do that. Well, you just got a bank account.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna apply for Little Caesars.
You're gonna go work at the pizza place?
Yeah.
Which one?
The one with Robert and James and stuff. Yeah.
So apparently we're going to take over a pizza place. I just did work for him about a couple months ago. Through my business. My stepson is working there and is practically a manager, even though he's not. But he has the most seniority of anybody who works there. He has out survived several managers. And it's just a matter, and I told him, I said, you just got to be there. You just got to show up. And eventually you'll get recognition, he's had to train managers on the system for the store.
Dang.
He was just a register jockey when he started out. Well, now he's in the back and slinging pizzas and taking names, and he practically runs the place down there. It seems like that at times. I don't know that that's necessarily the case, but whether you'll like it or not, I worked at Little Caesars when they were before they moved, and I worked with a bunch of friends of mine at the East 10th location. But they had the East 10th location had their own building. Then they sold sold the building, and I'm guessing they bought the mall down just right next door. And I assume that Little Caesars owns that whole mall, because they got a Subway in it, and they've got, you would think they would kick Subway out, but not necessarily. They're paying them rent. Who cares?
Yeah.
So, but regardless, that's neither here nor there. So what were we going to talk about this week?
Acting like I know.
Yeah, I know. I kept you in the dark.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to do is I want to go a little further down the whole dating scene rabbit hole, which I know not everybody is interested, because not everybody's interested in the dating scene. Nobody cares. But and it doesn't even affect me. Like, I'm married. I could care less what's happening on the dating scene, except that what's happening is so bizarre. I've never seen anything like it. Once I went down that rabbit hole, it's just weird what's happening. And Robert's dating.
He is.
He has.
Yeah.
But they meet, and his has been a little. He's not on dating apps per se, which apparently are nightmares. He's meeting people in real life and whatnot, and they're going out, but it's like nobody. He dated this girl for a while, and they went on dates, and I imagine they had fun. But here's the thing: the weird thing is like Robert didn't. It almost seemed like he didn't care whether or not she was with him or not. I don't know if you got that impression.
I didn't.
You didn't? Okay. Because it's like he was doing his thing, she was tagging along because she wanted to be with him. And I don't know, and he would just like play video games, and it's like, you have people here. Be with people. Don't be with video game. And but this kind of falls into this narrative where it just seems like everybody is so self-centered, and they've been programmed to like protect themselves from other people, because other people scary bad.
Yeah.
It's like, but other people are not scary bad. They're and people are dating, and I'm sure it happens with guys too. I'm not gonna single out women here, because I think it kind of goes both ways. I think guys are a little less refined than women want them to be. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, don't tell me I'm wrong.
Huh?
I said guys are a little less refined than women want them to be, especially young guys.
Yeah.
They're not particularly, well, when they're like teenagers, they're, as Christopher Titus says, they set their brains down on the table and they walk away. Like they can be pretty oblivious, they can be pretty dumb, and I don't remember myself being that way necessarily. I was pretty aware of who I was and what I was doing, and that may have been because of the way I am. But I'm sure there's times when I know there's times when I was oblivious. I know there's times when that I just wasn't paying attention or whatever. And or thinking, usually it was thinking about something else at the time and not being aware of what was going on around me. What are guys like at your age?
I don't usually talk to guys my age.
Why not?
Because most of them are buttheads.
They're buttheads.
Yeah.
They're not buttheads, they're just less sophisticated than you want them to be.
There's like maybe 10 that are nice. Maybe like 7.
That's still a lot of guys. They're nice. I mean, out of the entire population of men across all walks of life
I'm talking about
that go to your school.
I'm talking about from all the boys that I've met. Those are,
but still,
like,
7 to 10 is not in your circle. Is not a bad. It's not a bad statistic.
Yeah.
You've got 7 to 10 nice guys.
Well, I'm thinking about one, but he's like, we rarely see each other unless I get to school early and then follow him around to school.
Like a lost puppy, or
no, like we talk and we catch up and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I knew him in middle school. His name is Cole. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Well, see, they're out there.
Yeah.
And if you're not but the issue is, like, younger guys, I think, are oblivious and not really thinking of others. So in that way, they're selfish. And it's certainly not true of everybody. I think there are decent people in any age group. But I think women have been sort of trained to, especially through social media and things like that, to hold themselves up as the prize in a relationship. And in that way, they're self-centered. It's like, well, I do this and that and whatever. I make myself look beautiful and for a guy, and guys don't care about that. Guys don't really care about artificialness. They don't care. They don't care about if they're looking for a long-term relationship, that they don't care about what makeup you have on, or what dress you put on, or what clothes you're wearing, or how you did your hair, or they just don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of these ladies that advocate, you know, what we pointed out in a previous episode, point this out, and when they point it out, they get shouted down for it and called a pick-me girl and everything else. And it's like, no, they're absolutely right. You should be listening to them. You shouldn't be listening to the influencers that are trying to sell you the next makeup kit, you know, or the skin cream or the hairdo or the whatever.
But there is like some like situations where they actually are pick-me girls, not just regular people.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried that like girls who are the real pick-me girls that are like doing OnlyFans, and they're doing this, and it's so weird too. Like the girls who do OnlyFans, their social media presence is so. It's like, look at me, I'm beautiful. You know, look at me, I hardly have any clothes on. I'm pushing the boundaries of TikTok. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, the only one who's not doing that is one I've mentioned before, and that's Maya Price. And she is actually engaging in conversation. Yeah, okay, her marketing is like, yeah, look at me, I'm pretty and I'm young and I'm whatever. But a lot of her marketing is complaining about how young she is and she can't find a guy and da 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 da. It's like, well, is this, and I really want to find out if it's like, is that part of her marketing or is that just her reality? Is that because she's not the only one that's complaining that she can't find a guy out there.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys don't want to date a porn star. You know,
Yeah.
they just don't. And so and that's what these women are. They're just a fantasy. They're not somebody you want to. They're not somebody you want to have a long-term committed relationship with necessarily. And so it's just, that's why I wanted to get her on the podcast. May still do that. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we may have to change the format of the podcast to bring on more guests. But
Yeah.
see, she's the thing. What I was trying to get to your point. She is using like the men's issues in dating. She's even stolen like lip synced to Emily King's posts. Anyway, so so Maya Price has actually taken an Emily King post and like done lip syncing to it. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Like she's an advocate for men's issues. Like that makes it all sus. It's like, are you actually doing the advocacy or are you just doing this? Did you run out of ideas for content for the week? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like seriously. And does that sort of thing hurt? You know, the real voices for men's issues in dating. And I'm kind of on the side that yeah, it might. I don't want her to advocate for men's issues given her job.
Yeah.
You know, if she's an OnlyFans girl and she's clear about it, I don't necessarily want her talking about men's issues in dating because she's not the right voice for it. Because it's like being, you can either be a retailer or you can be a wholesaler. You have to pick one because you can't do both. Because the people who you're selling at retail are going to feel cheated that you're not selling to them at wholesale. And you know, it's a business model that doesn't work. Well, this is an advocacy model that doesn't work, is the way I see it. So you can't sell a fantasy and advocate for men's issues when you're taking advantage of the men's issues to sell a fantasy.
Yeah.
You're taking advantage of the lonely men who are, and it's not necessarily taking advantage of, because they're going into it fully aware of what this is. You know, they're not. They may do some simping. They may do some, you know, they may give money or whatever, or do a subscription or what have you. But this is not, you know, it's not necessarily taking advantage. That's probably not the right word for it. If you're selling a fantasy, but you're not the best advocate for men's issues. Whereas like Lauren from the Dadvocate, she's actually going into trying to change laws in states for like child support and visitations and things like that to help out. And so having Maya's voice in the mix is probably not the best.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate the effort, but she's not the one I want speaking for me. I got a problem with sugar ants in here. Little tiny ants. They're all looking for food. I don't know where they're coming from, because they don't form a neat little line up to where they're harvesting food or crumbs or whatever. So I had problems with sugar ants in my first apartment. And what you do is for sugar ants, when they form that line where they're going back and forth eating whatever it is they're eating, you can take Windex and just spray them down, and that destroys their chemical trail that they follow.
Someone mixed like honey with borax and like left it out, and then all the ants died.
Yeah, well, borax is a poison.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I mean, you can mix honey with arsenic. That'd work too.
Yeah.
I mean, arsenic's a poison.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for the most part I've gotten rid of them, but I still see a straggler or two every once in a while. So anyway, your thoughts on the whole dating thing? Have you thought about dating at all?
No.
No? You haven't thought about dating at all? You're 16 years old. I'm surprised.
I'm not 16.
You're damn near.
I'm almost 15.
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
Not
I'm
16.
rounding up.
That's not how age works, bro.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, you're almost there. I'm surprised you haven't thought about it. I'm surprised you don't have an opinion on it. You realize they can't hear you when you look at me in that tone of voice.
I'm not looking at you in a tone of voice. I'm just looking at you.
Exactly. You gotta speak into the microphone your thoughts.
I don't have any.
You don't have any?
I do not have any.
So like what's your plans then?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
You haven't thought about that either?
I have like 3 to 4 years left to think about it.
Goes
so
by fast.
I know.
Uh-huh.
It feels like the school year was just like a month or two. If I recall on my memories, which isn't really helpful.
Yeah, well, that's the way a lot of people see it. You know. And so that's why my issue is like time goes by for me at the same rate no matter what I'm doing or how old I am. It's a constant.
Time for me has flipped. In middle school, it used to go super slow, and then the summer would go like super fast. But now it's the summer going super slow, and school going super fast. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had to give you advice right now, without you have even thought about it, I can't think of anything else that I could impart, because like my experience dating was so different than what it is now.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even know where to start. Other than the you're a person, I'm a person. We're different but equal.
Yeah.
What applies to you applies to me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And if assuming this podcast or that phrasing takes off, maybe you could put, like, in your profile, you could put P equals P. So person equals person.
Oh.
In your dating profile, and the people who know what that is can go, oh, so this is a decent person that's going to be treat me equally, or treat me well, or treat whatever.
Yeah.
And because I agree with that, that would be a way to find each other. But I don't know if it's... I mean, that's what I would do. But trying to make something go viral like that, you can't force something like that. It just got to be P equals P. Person equals person.
Yeah.
So it just seems like younger folks are just incredibly selfish. And it's not everybody. It's certainly not. But people have, younger people have complained about dating people their own age. 20-year-olds are like, oh, the dating scene is awful. The apps are awful. Everything's awful. It's like, well, if everybody's being terribly selfish and trying to protect themselves against the other people, or have no patience to get to know somebody, or are treating the dating scene like it's something other than just a getting to know you type of a thing. If you're going into it with some kind of high expectations, or heck, even low expectations, making it out to be something that it's not. You're just meeting a new person and seeing if you like them.
Yeah.
I can do that at a Hardee's. I have done it at a Hardee's. I started a conversation with an old guy, and now every morning I go down for breakfast and talk to him, and his friends, and I met more people, and it's just it's not hard. It just is not hard. You just have to show up.
Yeah.
Show up and talk, and it can be about you. It could not be about you. It could be about what you like. It could be about what you could ask them about what they like. You could do. This isn't rocket science. You're just meeting people.
Yeah.
That's how they've done it since time immemorial. And as long as you don't make it into something that it's not. If you're not scared of the process, and you're not trying to land somebody with who's 6 foot, 6 figures, and 6-pack abs, then make it. If you're not making it into something you're not, you may be very happy.
Yeah.
And at push comes to shove, if you're not compatible, you've made a friend.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you're compatible in some ways and just not in others. That's the thing. And that's what it seems like. Having gone down this rabbit hole that I never intended to go down in the first place, because I don't care about it. And now I'm following Emily W. King, and I'm following The Dadvocate, and I followed a couple of other accounts. It's like now my feeds is a lot of that stuff, and I don't really want it to be because I'm not on the dating scene. I'm not looking for anybody.
Neither am I.
Are you? People bad. Like,
Jeez.
What? Is that true or not? I mean, is that where you're coming from?
Sometimes.
I mean, people are problematic. Dealing with another people is bad. It can be stressful. But, then again, it's not always a bad thing. You got friends.
Yeah.
How many friends you got? See, you had to count. I could have jumped right in and said, I have 2 friends when I was your age.
I mean, I can definitely say I have one friend because we talk basically every day.
Everybody's got one friend.
Not really. It's like there's children out there with no friends. They're just sitting alone and stuff.
So you should friend them.
Well, I don't know them.
That's why you go up and say, hi! It's not rocket science. I just explained this.
I know, but like I'm talking about kids that are like far away or something, and yeah.
So you get your little leggies and you walk over and you say hi and you see how they react. If they're nuts, they'll go, leave me alone! Scary, stranger danger!
That's not what I was trying to say.
Well, I mean, come on.
I'm talking about like all around the world there are lonely kids with no friends.
Oh, you're making a generalization. I see.
Yes. Not, there's this person down the street, they're really lonely. I should go talk to them. I'm like, no, not like that. I'm talking about like, all around the world.
So did you hoover all them up already? Get all the lonely kids in your immediate circle and area? And
No. I mean, how I met most of my friends is just basically being introduced by another person.
Yeah, but that's how it happens. Because you had to have that one friend initially.
Yeah, cause like, remember Caden?
Yeah, sorta.
He introduced me to Delilah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then Delilah introduced me to Zoe in middle school, and it just kept going and going. And then I found Cole, then I found Gage, then I found Gabby, and then I found more.
See, I talked to Floyd. He's the old guy.
Yeah,
the main old guy. Then I met his, he calls him his brother. It's actually his brother-in-law. And I met another guy who talks to Floyd, and then I met some people who only come in on Fridays, and so I met Steve and Dale and all kinds of other people. I've got probably a dozen people who I maybe half a dozen I would consider friends. Others I would consider acquaintances through meeting all these people. So they all know who I am pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I come in dressed in green all the time. I drive a green car. Floyd calls it stickers. He does, because of the magnets on the side.
Bro.
It's like, I'm not stickers. I'm not. It's only 2 stickers. They're magnets. They're not even stickers. But he says it's stickers. Okay, all right, Floyd. I'll let you have that one. But it's yeah. Dating is just meeting other people. That's all it is. But
there's only like a few times where some people just came up to me and just started talking. Like on a bus one time, there's no other seats, and I was like sitting alone because I like to be alone on the bus. And this guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, can I sit here?" And then once the bus started going, he just started talking to me. I'm like, "Oh yeah, hi."
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Meet new people, and in this day and age, that's like creepy.
Apparently.
So, most people don't mean anything by talking to you, and they just want somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And I've talked to many strangers that I've never seen again. Like, we never became fast friends. It's just they talked to me and I talked to them, and we had a friendly bus ride, and then I never saw them again.
Yeah.
It's like I might see him at a chamber mixer or something, and hi, hey, I remember you from the bus. Like, that's how I met some of the people down at South Dakota Public Broadcasting. So it's like they know who I am and I know who they are, and our paths only cross when there's like an event. So, which is it's just the way it is sometimes.
Yeah.
That, and then it doesn't help that I'm sort of kind of face blind.
You and me both.
Because it's like, unless I'm seeing you in the place where I met you, because the scenery actually contributes to my overall understanding of who you are.
Yeah.
It's to the way I identify. So it's not just you as a person. It's where you're at factors into how I identify. So people have gone out and they oh, hey, how you doing? And okay, I'm doing pretty good. Who the hell are you? Like, I don't know.
Honestly, I'm also face blind. Cause I remember meeting someone, but then not even a day later, I'd see them again, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And they have to explain it again.
Well, be careful with that, because it's not just forgetting their name, because a lot of people say, "Well, I'm face blind and I forget names all the time." It's not. That's not it. It's not even knowing who you are, because you are not where you were where I understand you to be. And there was a time where this really was problematic. This is why I'm not a security guard. I install security systems.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy, I was working at Radio Shack, and this guy wrote me a bad check. Or he bought something, it was a bad check, it bounced. And apparently he had been doing this all over the place, and it was somebody I knew. I found this out after the fact. It was somebody I knew, but when they asked me to identify him, there was only 6 mugshots on the page. And the one guy says, "That guy looks familiar. This is the only one who's familiar to me." But I couldn't tell the police with any certainty that's him that wrote the bad check, because he's not standing in front of me at the Radio Shack,
Yeah.
But if he's the one that did it, that's the guy. Is all the best I could give him.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize I couldn't identify him. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup, and I sort of did, but I didn't really, because I didn't. It was process of elimination. The other 5 people, I had no idea who they were. That guy, I know I've seen him somewhere before, but I don't know who he is. I don't know that he wrote me a bad check. I don't know, I can't identify him with any precision. So, yeah. And it just amazes me how certain, because I've worked with security guards, I'm just like, it amazes me how certain they are of identification of people. And I just I can never be that certain. I could throw somebody out of a store and I'll never, if I see him on the street, I'll never know who he is. But other people can do that. It's almost like a superpower. I get by with doing sales because the people that I connect with are in the place that I connected with them at.
Yeah.
But I've had a problem at one place where the brothers, they work together. One of them owns the shop and one of them is is a manager, manages the shop part.
Yeah.
And they look so similar to me. They are very different people. They are not the same people. I have gone up to the other brother and asked questions that I was supposed to ask the other guy. And he politely says, "No, I don't really know anything about that." Okay. And then I realized that, oh, this is the wrong guy. Like, because they might as well be. They don't look anything. They trust me. If you you take two pictures, they only look slightly similar. They are not identical twins by any stretch of the imagination. But they look similar enough and they're in the same environment. Sometimes I screw up and ask the wrong brother. And I just don't make a big deal out of it, and I'll go, okay, I'll go check the other guy. Because it's fortunately one guy has the authority, or both brothers sort of have a bit of authority in this regard, but they, so they sometimes the other brother can answer.
Yeah.
But not always. It's not. A lot of times it's not his domain. I've done that in other places too. Like somebody similar, like a manager is similar looking to a manager I was talking to before, and I can't. That must be the guy. He's here. He kind of looks like the guy, and then I realize after talking to him, whoops, he's not the guy. It's like,
yeah.
So, yeah. This whole autism thing isn't all roses. Trust me. It's like, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But so do you have anything to add?
No.
No. Well, I suppose we could probably end it there. I just wanted to go a little deeper on the whole dating thing. There's a lot of ground to cover. I'd like to invite some of the advocates and whatnot on and interview them like we did with Jamie and whatnot. But I don't know if this is going to be at all, and like what our audience wants to hear. I just don't know. And the first one, it did all right when we fixed dating with the whole "you're a person, I'm a person."
Yeah.
Any rule that applies to you applies to me. That type of thing. The goal is the table is the relationship, not any one person.
Yeah.
So we fixed dating. Now we just need people to hear it and go, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea." And put P equals P on their dating profile.
Profile?
Profile. Yeah, the profile.
Profile.
Like I said, I've used dating apps, but the last time I used a dating app was 16 years ago.
You old.
Well, just been around longer than you have.
Well,
Anybody can be young. It takes skill and to be old. Skill and grace to be old.
well, I'd hope you've been around longer than me.
Yeah, wow. That'd be a neat trick, wouldn't it? So. All right. Well, we wasted another hour of our listeners' time. I hope that you found these, the whole dating thing. Even if you're not dating, I hope you found them interesting, to say the least. And if you've got kids, if you're not dating yourself, and if you know somebody who is, maybe we've brought to light some of the challenges, some of the issues, and that they're facing right now. And I know I've spoken about it from a male perspective, and how the issues there's a lot of men's issues that are coming up in this topic, but hopefully, it's not just men that are having problems. And the male advocates are kind of making a good point that women are sort of doing it to themselves. But there are men out there that are having dating relationship issues. But you are your own worst enemy. You have to be kind. You have to be patient. You have to try and be a good person, and you have to think about the other person that you want to have a relationship with, because the relationship is always the goal. Whether it's friendship, whether it's dating and marriage, whether any of it, it's the relationship is the table. What are you bringing to it? How are you going to improve another person's life? And it's something I think about to this day, with even being married. Am I bringing enough to the table? Am I improving our lives, or am I hurting our lives? Am I causing problems? And the last thing I want to do is cause problems. So it's something I think about all the time. And I think it applies to dating. I think that's maybe what we need right now, is for people to start thinking about the goal rather than themselves so much.
Yeah.
But you've done it again. You've wasted another hour with click and clack. Wrong podcast again. I know I've said that joke before, but it's still funny. Come on. It's not, but yeah. So, but I've been for the Gigsplained podcast. Look out for our new store. Hopefully, by the time this comes out, we'll have all that squared away, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some more things going on. Hopefully I'll be able to record more podcasts than I can predict right now.
Yeah.
Or do more videos or something. But so goodbye for now. I've been Mr. Gigabytes, impersonating a podcaster, and
his sidekick's Humanity.
We'll see you in the next one.